Welcome to Ouch. Was that a ghost? This podcast may contain graphic material, which some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Help me.
Now that we covered that, here's your host, Liz.
Welcome to Ouch, Was That a Ghost? With Mike.
And Liz, here back again.
The role reversal. It's going to drive everyone crazy. They're not going to know what to do.
So, what have you been up to?
So many things. As I just told you, I played tennis for the first time in 20 years. So I know I'm an old man now, but I did it.
Oh, I would have came back with like a broken ankle, a broken shoulder.
I wasn't like diving at balls or like going crazy, just wanted to get a little run in. As my friend John, who I played with, said, this is so I can have an extra dinner roll at dinner. That's all it's for.
I just have the dinner roll. I don't worry about the other stuff.
Don't worry about the bird in the gallery pod.
No.
So what's been going on? Anything good?
I just emailed back to that guy that's doing the improv classes. So you're going to be doing those classes with me soon.
I forgot about that. I'm pumped though. That'll be fun.
I'll be so anxious. You'll be completely fine.
Oh, I don't care. I make an ass out of myself for worse reasons. So
see, I professionally speaking in front of people, I'm fine. But the minute I have to do anything artistic or anything like ad-libbing, then I get so nervous and my nervousness shows in my face.
Yeah.
I turn into a freaking tomato. Like there's no hiding that I'm embarrassed or scared or mad. It just, the red just comes out.
You got to play it into your improv. Like be like,
I'm being a tomato.
Don't make me angry. You won't like me when I'm angry. And then just like turn red.
Lobster activate.
Yes. Oh, it'd be great. Speaking of doing stupid shit, just to do stupid shit, you know how I like to fuck with my friends, basically, is my favorite thing in the world. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite pastimes is taking pictures of them at the urinal when they're going in like weird spots. Like we're going on vacation and, they go to the bathroom. So I walk in behind them, I stop taking pictures and they get all creeped out by it. So
why would they get creeped out?
I don't know. It seems normal behavior, right?
I mean, everyone has hobbies.
I go further. So one of my friends, Mark, you met him.
Yeah.
But he's the only one who's ever turned and like smiled back when I was doing it and like was completely comfortable with it. So I made a big fat head for it. And you've probably seen it at the parties and stuff where I put him up all the time doing. But so what I'm doing now is, how Haley's having the softball game for like the family and friends. I don't know if you get the invite for that?
Yeah, I asked her if I could cheat and she said yes. Perfect. So I said I'll go.
So on the text, it said about like, get a hit, get a drink. And someone said you should make it into a country song. So that's what me and Haley are in the process of doing right now, turning it into a country song.
That's awesome.
And we're just going to play it during the softball game and see if anyone notices.
Oh, wonderful.
As I said, I make an ass out of myself for no good reasons.
Hey, passes the time. But I'm so excited. What story do you got?
Oh, you're going to hate this one, I think.
Okay, cool.
It's her name is Beverly Allitt. She is the angel of death. Have you heard of this or no?
I don't know the name, but a lot of stories I know as facts kind of unfold. So maybe not. Okay.
Well, I'll just start off with it, and then you tell me if you've heard of it along the way.
Okay.
If you haven't, great. Something new for you. It's not your type of story because it has to do with like children too. So yeah. Well, if this one goes well, I have a couple more in the chute ready to roll. So we'll see. Okay. So the angel of death, Beverly Allitt. Beverly Allitt was born October 4th, 1968 in England.
A Libra?
Is that what it is? You know, because you were right there, yeah.
Well, I'm a Libra. Yeah, I'm 3 days later.
So, yeah, that's right. And Beverly Allitt was a nurse at Grantham Hospital in Lincolnshire, England, obviously, in 1991. Okay, so while she was working here, there's over 36 documented counts of her attacking children at the hospital. So this is going to be a lovely, family-friendly story, as you can hear.
Okay.
Allitt was one of 4 children in her family. At a young age, she would always cause issues like wearing bandages, putting on leg braces, and even casts just to get attention from people for injuries that weren't even real. She would just always bring the attention upon herself. As she got into her teen years, the attention-seeking increased. She'd get her appendix removed without any reason for it. There was no need. She would just come up with things. And
how did she manage that?
I don't know. She was very manipulative, I guess, when she was even at a young age. In teen years, she would do a lot of manipulative stuff. Yeah,
that's impressive because they didn't even have WebMD back then to like look up symptoms.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that was I mean, who knows if she did or didn't? That's the kind of the theory on it, was she didn't really need it removed. So
yep,
I'm going off what a lot of the stories have said.
Mm-hmm.
She started a lot of self-harming. She would doctor hop when they caught on to her behaviors. As she got older and older, she'd keep hopping doctor to doctor. So she'd manipulate a new doctor and they wouldn't know any better. And when the self-harming stopped getting her attention, she was known to start harming others by fighting, hitting them, and even like using weapons at points, like bats and stuff, to hit people, because that would get her the attention she desired. It wasn't even anger. It was just purely attention driven, which was crazy.
See, if she just had a camera, she could have gone around and taken pictures of her friends going to the bathroom at the urinal, and it would have been a lot more productive.
That's what I mean. Like, if you want attention nowadays, it's very easy. You just have to turn the camera on yourself. You'll get it one way or another. Okay. She just needed a flip phone with a camera back then. It would have been fine. All right. She went on to train as a nurse at Grantham College. And when she started going into nursing homes, people noticed weird things started happening, like bruises on patients and feces smeared on the walls. She eventually lost multiple jobs for her absentee level was too high. So she was just
I'm sorry, the feces on the wall, there's no more than that, just that there was feces all over the wall?
It was, they said they didn't really start like investigating her when she was just going into the nursing homes, because it was partially training for the college, and they just assumed it was the old people that were just smearing feces.
And they didn't fingerprint the feces?
No, they didn't do anything. It's crazy, but obviously this stuff kept happening around her, so it should have been caught earlier than it was. Yeah. But as we know, back then it wasn't like the cameras. Everyone wasn't as accountable as they are now for the stuff that was happening. A lot of stuff got swept under the rug.
Oh, definitely. And like nurse shortages are like a huge thing too.
Oh yeah, and that's a big part of what was happening here. So, because she lost multiple jobs for her absentee level. So it was claiming multiple false pregnancies and losses of the children. That was one of her big go-tos. And ultimately, she would claim that her boyfriend would rape her.
Oh my gosh.
Before the relationships ended. She did this multiple times to multiple different guys, and they just never caught up to her, which was crazy. But she was slowly cornering herself as she went along, because there was only so many places to work, so many people she could go through before it came onto the, spectrum of people seeing what she was.
Yeah.
And so at one point, the only job she could get was at the chronically understaffed Grantham and Kesterton Hospital, which is a Grantham hospital in Lincolnshire, the one where she ultimately met her demise, I guess, or a lot of the kids met their demise to her, unfortunately. But and as you said, the nurses staffing just was not available there. They were running with like one nurse at night and two during the day at the most for the hospital.
For how many people?
For like a whole floor of patients. I don't even know. They said a whole floor of patients. And it was the children's ward that she was working on.
Gosh.
So it should have been more, obviously.
Yeah.
And because they were so understaffed is another reason why it took so long for them to notice the crimes to start to build up. But I'm just going to read you the list of where it started, where it went to, and what happened, and let you make your own determination.
I'm going to say guilty.
All right, that's probably a good call on this one. So on February 21st of 1991, her first victim was a 7-month-old Liam Taylor. He had a chest infection, which soon turned into a respiratory emergency when, in Allitt's hands, the parents would stay with the child and he would seem to get better, and then Allitt would convince them to go home and take a break and rest, and she had him in good hands. And eventually, like the next day, it would lead to life support and dying.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone was confused. All the colleagues were confused because no alarms were called. When he stopped breathing, no one was alerted to it. They just came in with the emergency crash cart and he was already gone. which was insane because that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm surprised she could get the parents out of there.
I guess she was, like I said, she was really convincing to people. As we saw, she grew up lying, so she knew how to do it well, obviously. But yeah, so 7 months old. That's crazy. And he just had a chest infection. Just ended up dying unexpectedly.
That's terrible.
That's sad. So then it'd go on, and then March 5th, same year. This is all the same year, so it's all happened within a couple months. So March 5th, she took over care for Timothy Hardwick, an 11-year-old kid with cerebral palsy who was admitted for an epileptic fit. And again, when she was left alone with him, he stopped breathing, and the emergency response could not save him because they didn't go off in time once again. So victim number 2, cerebral palsy, just had it was a chest infection as well. Same idea as the first one. It should have been getting better, should have gotten the medicine, gotten taken care of, and just goes into emergency death. Insane.
No, I'm just trying to think of what she's using, because so far, the way you're describing her, she sounds like she has Munchausen from a young age.
Yes. Munchausen syndrome was a diagnosis for her, without a doubt. So.
And as an adult, she sounds like she has that, what is it called? The angel of the mercy of whatever. You know what I mean? That thing that like nurses get, the angel of death or mercy.
Yeah, she's called the angel of death. She probably feels like she's helping these people out by putting them to death, is what she feels.
But it's like knowing that they can pull them back and forth, because some prefer to like pull back and forth and some just like killing and taking their lives.
Yes, yeah.
But what did they get into it all, what she uses later on?
Yes, we'll get to that. But
okay,
I'll let you guess. So I don't know how much you know about this
stuff. Far about breathing, I'm thinking like the shot of just air.
Okay. So she's like injecting air into the tubes?
Would be my guess, like into your foot. So it can't be, that would be my guess so far, but I have no clue.
Okay. I didn't even know you could do that. So it's a better guess than I would have. I'm not a big medical person, so you could be right. I don't know.
Well, I think you do.
Well, I do know, but I'm not going to tell you. Yeah. I do know. Maybe they're wrong. Maybe you're right. All right. So third victim, moving on. March 20th, 1991. So the first one was the February 21st to March 5th. Now we're on to March 20th. So it hasn't even been a month yet.
Damn.
And 1-year-old Kaylee Desmond, who was admitted on March 3rd with a chest infection and seemed to be recovering, very similar theme, recovering well until falling under Allitt's care, got transferred over to her, and died in the same bed Liam did just days before. And again, no alarms, no warning. Just Beverly by herself caring for her.
That's terrible. It's
insane. And it's just like, you think by this point, people were like, hold on, what the fuck's going on? And I'm going to throw these names out because I'm not going to keep going over the symptoms because it's all pretty much similar. Chest infection, same ideas. Mm-hmm. So then you have the somewhere in there, 320, 5-month-old Paul Crampton, another one. 322, 5-year-old Bradley Gibson. 4-1. So now we're into April. Katie and Beck Phillips, 2 months old. 4 more victims in between that as well.
Katie and Beck, were they like twins?
Yeah, Katie and Beck Phillips were twins. Yep, 2 months old.
Oh my gosh.
Insane, right? So she just had no qualms about just fucking offing these babies. Insanity. And then there was 4 more victims in between that, didn't die, just like were fucked with and stuff like that, you know what I mean? And ended up okay.
Yep.
Now, 422, 15-month-old Claire Peck was the final victim. Asthmatic, who was revived once, but could not be revived a second time. So that was the last victim right there. But there were multiple other kids that were hurt, injured, or screwed with that ended up surviving along the way.
Thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah. Thankfully, they made it through. But a lot of them were like emergency responses that brought them back to life in between. It wasn't like they were fine, you know what I mean, and made it through. It's like something happened to them and they got saved. And that's what
her shift ended.
Yeah. Well, it probably is. It's probably they got her the fuck out of there, and then the real nurses took care of them.
Yeah.
But during the autopsies, these all seem like natural causes until they found, what did they find? Do you know? Last guess?
So it's all pulmonary. So all I'm thinking is like that putting an air in there in the tube is all I'm thinking. You haven't really told me any of the symptoms that would make me think anything else.
Well, literally there were no symptoms. It was just they had respiratory issues and then they'd go into like cardiac arrest. And that was it. It was that's pretty much all the victims. That's what was happening. So she was definitely doing something to them, and they couldn't figure it out till the autopsies. But they found the drug lidocaine, which is used during cardiac arrest, but not on children. And also they were finding high doses of insulin in these kids. So she was just using different drugs and pumping them into them and just fucking offing them, basically, which is insane. Gross person, obviously.
That's horrific.
To do this to little babies. And obviously, they found a lot of this investigation. Allitt reported the insulin key missing days before all of these events. In the medicine, it was to the lidocaine in the insulin cage. So surprisingly, she just happened to lose the key.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah. Going back, they found reports missing on her daily checks on all of the children the night before of their deaths. So she just wasn't doing daily reports and check-ins on them, which is shocking that she wouldn't record herself basically killing these kids.
Yeah, I'm so shocked that nobody caught that in all those months.
It was really only about 1 month altogether that all of this happened. And like they said, they were so short-handed. Everyone's probably so busy and right out. They have all the patients to care for. They're not looking back to see what the other people were doing.
Yeah.
They're just worried about their own stuff. So I get it. It took probably a month and a half to 2 months to really, really catch her. But the shock for me is that she's been doing this for years at different jobs and fucking with patients. And this is the first one they caught her at. You know? That's because I don't know, because I guess if there's an uptick of deaths like that, normally you would investigate it a lot sooner, you think? I mean, there was definitely some neglect at this hospital.
No, definitely. No, I was just thinking respiratory. Maybe they thought it was like a respiratory virus going through, but there's a lot of kids for that, and only certain ones and coming back and forth. I don't know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
I don't either. I don't know much about it. So, but to finalize it, I mean, she was eventually sentenced in November of 1991, the same year, just a lot later.
I feel like you're going to give me such a shitty number of years she gets in jail.
No, she got everything. She got 13 life sentences.
Wonderful.
Yeah. And and that's it. And it's still in there. It's just, it's an awful story. I just wanted to bring it to your light because you hate the kid stories, so I wanted to bring you something.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But that's about it. I mean, you can look her up. She's still in there serving time, still doing her thing. They found so many other things along the way, like all the little things as they went back and researched and did it. But those are the basic highlighted cases where she killed the kids and abused the kids, and it was horrendous. Obviously, she was doing it in the nursing homes before she got to that point. And the reason she probably didn't kill anyone in the nursing homes is she probably didn't have access to the drugs or the ability to do it.
Yeah, and she probably definitely honed her, I guess, skill as she went throughout life, trying different things on different people.
Oh, 100%. Just probably all the self-claiming injuries and everything was just probably research for her to get to where she could hurt other people more than anything.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's crazy. It is nuts. It's a sick person. Sick and twisted. Yeah,
I'll definitely work on a good story for you to get you back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. I mean, you can basically tell me anything and I hate it all, so it's all pretty good. All right. I mean, but on a serious note, what are we doing this improv thing? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Are you gonna wear like costumes every time you go?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna wear my Care Bear costume.
Are you? Every
time. I think we should do like a cowboy thing and do like the bull riding stuff, like a bar.
What? We're gonna dress up like cowboys going to the class?
No, like Care Bears, and we go in and we do bull riding.
Oh, okay. So basically what you're saying is I need to hurry up and buy myself a Care Bear costume.
Yes, I think we should.
Okay. You could have just led with that.
Okay. But how do you stop a bull from charging?
How do you stop a bull from charging? Cut up his credit card? I don't know.
Yes, you got it.
Oh, seriously?
So yes. Oh my God, you're so good.
I was like, it's so corny. It can't be that bad. But it is.
It's so bad.
You're so stupid.
I know. Oh, that's all I got. I got nothing else. That's my first full story. I hope it was decent. If it's not, we'll just cancel this episode and never play it.
Perfect.
I'm good either way.
Well, I love the Micasode.
All right, the Micasode. Here we go. So thanks for coming on and being part of my podcast here, Les. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You have to end this now. I don't know how.
You have to end it.
So on that note, I'm going to wish you all good day. Carry on with what you've done for the life. May all your wildest fantasies come true, and keep on trucking.
To you as well.
Every silver lining has a touch of gray. We are the world. We are the children.
What is happening?
I never know how to end these. That's the worst way to end them.
That's why we just did. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you need more content or just want to help support the podcast, head on over to patreon.com and search Ouch, Was That a Ghost? If you need some schnazzy merch, you can find it at crowdmade.com by searching Ouch, Was That a Ghost? If you have a story you'd like to share, you can email it to ouchwasthataghost@yahoo.com. You can also find us on Facebook and all the other social media platforms under Ouch, Was That a Ghost?
Help me.
All links can also be found on ouchwasthataghost.com.